Afternoon, Andrew. How are you on this fine Friday afternoon?
I am very good, thanks, Peter. It's great to be here. I'm not sure how fine it is now, but here in Carrickfergus, the rain has just come on, so a typical summer in Northern Ireland.
I'm not going to that. I'm not going to dispute that. Well, Andrew, it's not night. It's good to see you here this afternoon. So, Andrew, could we start by tell me a little about yourself and your role?
Yeah, so I'm Andrew Hanley, and I run Frog Digital Media. It's a an app development company that's been going about 20 years now. And it's gone through many different iterations in that time. But essentially, today, what we do is we develop web apps, mobile apps, e-learning apps, and custom development. And that can be it's always for businesses, but it can be to support a different range of things. So we can do education sector has been done. We've done charitable work, which is great to work on, right through to sales support for businesses, and sales teams and things like that. So yeah, that's what we do.
What was the spark? The spark that led you to start your own business?
I feel guilty because at these points, you think you want to say, oh, it was a epiphany struck me one day, and I had this amazing business idea that was sure to conquer the world. Unfortunately, in my case, it wasn't anything quite as grand. It was coming into where I worked at the time on a Friday, and the boss bringing us all in to the boardroom and saying, don't come in on Monday, we're finished. And that was literally it. So we kind of left on that Friday, wondering how we were going to pay for things. Not the least of which was a new house I had bought just 3 months previous, my first house actually. And I was sitting with a mortgage and car payments and those wonderful things and thinking, I don't know what to do. But one thing became clear, that the customers we had at that time with the business still needed those things that we were producing. And my division in the company that I was responsible for was the multimedia. Uh, Old shiny circular things called CD-ROMs, which I don't know if any of your audience will remember those, but I certainly do.
Only if only.
So yeah, I actually started the business started in 2004, called Frog CD-ROM, and that's what I did. I wrote and developed the applications on CD for a whole host of different companies, and yeah, that's how it started.
And could you tell me the type of person or business that would benefit most from your product or service?
Yeah, it's definitely a business that's trying to support a venture. Now, normally people within that, so it's normally trying to reach out with some sort of content that people need to consume. And that could be a sales team needing to be kept up to date with the latest developments from headquarters or a new product rollout. But it can also be, there's a couple of different apps that I've done, where a global dealer network needs supported, or a global service station network needs supported. And then right through to where people just need to be trained. Maybe internally they need compliance, or they need accreditation and qualifications. Again, we can help develop the systems for those.
And what would you say has been the most significant lesson that you've learned as a business owner so far?
There have been many. I think the most significant is to really pay attention and to value those with different views than your own. Um, I think it's sometimes easy to dismiss when someone says that's not the best thought out idea, or we can do better, or there's a different perspective here. And I think sometimes we can dismiss that. And actually, what I find is there can be real nuggets of wisdom in there. And we don't have to always agree, but I think what I've learned is to always listen. And I can think of some individuals in my life who have just had fantastic insight and don't think how I think, and there's real value in that.
Would you say what's been the toughest obstacle that you've had to overcome in your business career so far?
am I allowed to say loads of cash? No. um, actually, not that. The good Lord has blessed me to always be able to pay the bills, which is all we can ask for. So can't complain. But I think the biggest obstacle is in my industry. I started as Frog CD-ROM. Within 3 years, CD-ROMs were dead. So I migrated to a technology called Flash. Within 4 years, Flash was completely dead. So it's constantly moving. And if I sit still, I then stagnate as a business, and my offering to my customers stagnates. So the biggest challenge is actually knowing what's round the corner and getting me and any contractors I'm using at the time ginned up or in place, ready to go. And I think that's the biggest challenge. And if I ever work out how to do that foolproof with never making a mistake, I think I might write a book, because I don't think it's possible. It's always a challenge, and sometimes you get it right and sometimes you get it wrong.
So as we sit here now, Andrew, we're into the second half of 2023. What is it right now that really motivates you to get and drive passion for your business?
It's quite interesting timing that you asked that question, Peter, because especially just with the last sort of months and weeks, and even right up to this morning, things have been changing for me at Frog, and I'm exploring a number of different things. I think one of them is that I can add value now, not just in a technical programming way and actually the apps I develop, but I realise now that actually my experience in that field is actually quite useful to some people. And that's really interesting. I'm kind of excited to see where that goes. But I think my biggest sort of excitement or driving force right now today is I want to use the business to help people. I think that really excites me. Again, I mentioned some of those wonderful people I've come across in my life, and I can think of one guy in particular. I'll name no names because I don't want to embarrass the man, but he ran a business, a really successful business, and he was always looking for ways to help. Now, that taught me a lesson there. It was like he realised that the worth his business added could be even multiplied X number, because he was helping people as he did it. So real like help, like disaster emergency help, earthquake relief, all those things. I've been fortunate enough to be involved with some of those. I did an app not so long ago for a particular charity over in England, and that app's still being used today, and it's really helping in the area of trafficking and human slavery. And that's one of the highlights of my entire 20 years, that I, in a tiny way, was able to do a bit of that. That's really what I'm looking for with Frog now, is I'm looking around for the opportunities where, yes, I can add value and I can bring worth, but also I can help people.
And if you go back in time, and if it were possible, what advice would you give to the 18-year-old Andrew about
So the 18-year-old Andrew, yeah. At 16, Andrew asked his dad, what job makes the most money? To which his dad said, probably a high court judge. And I went, right, I'll be that then. And that was I was doing law, Peter, because I just wanted to make money. And that was it. It was my be-all and end-all. I thought, I'll just go after the money. And I'm so glad that I was shown that was wrong. And I got into something I actually enjoyed, which was computers, that actually satisfies me. I think my message to 18-year-old Andrew would be, don't be so arrogant. Actually listen to people around you. Take on board the experience that these guys have. They've been there, they've walked there. There's a reason they're saying things to you. So I think it's great to be singularly focused, and I think we celebrate that in our culture, to say, look, drive forward and just go and get what you want, and whatever you're worth, go out and find that and get it. And there's a lot to be said for that. But I think I would temper that a little by saying also try not to step on people on the way, and respect others and where they're coming from, and listen to their advice.
And looking ahead, what aspects of new or upcoming your business and
well, I've already mentioned that sort of sort of looking for those opportunities that can really sort of help people. So that's definitely a big one. I think as well the new technology. I'm a nerd. I love my tech. You know, this office, if we panned out, there's just full of tech here, and I love that. So as I'm exploring these new avenues presented by AI, by virtual reality, augmented reality. I love that with the HoloLens. I'm looking at that. But even going back to my roots, because I actually started as a games developer and I ran a little games company in Belfast. And actually, that's come sort of full circle. You know, lots of companies talk about gamification and realizing the worth of that. And whilst that's not actually games, it's just taking sort of the mechanics of games. There's something there that I find interesting. So that, I think, is going to be for the next 12 months. I'm going to be interested to see what Frog will have on its repertoire of skills at that point.
Superb. And Andrew, if somebody likes what they've heard and would like to reach out or get in touch, what's the best way for them to go about that?
So probably just reach out directly to me would be great. And our website is there, frogdigitalmedia.com. Pop on there. There's email. There's a contact form. There's you'll be able to see portfolios and also some nice testimonials of wonderful customers and clients that I've been blessed with over the years.
That's a great way to. So Andrew Hanley, I'm free and journey. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, and I wish you and your business all the success. Thanks very much.
Thanks so much, Peter. It's been a pleasure.